This is my review on 2008's Iron Man. I give this an 8 out of 10. It's a mediocre movie. I'm personally not a big fan of this movie because the character's kind of lame, including Iron Man himself, played by Robert Downey in the first installment. He starts out as kind of lame and generic of a hero. And as a character, one-dimensional, I found. And not the most, not really, and I wish this movie told the better jokes. And wasn't so flat and staled. That's my problem with the first Iron Man movie. It's staled like the jokes in the Captain Marvel movie from 2019. While the jokes in the Marvel movies would improve over the course of time, with the exception of Captain Marvel, that for some reason the jokes, they went back to square one and making the jokes awful. And still, Iron Man 1 from 2008 suffers from that problem. The jokes aren't really funny, they're stale, and I thought the story felt half fake. But what can you expect when you really? What can you expect is this from except when this, and then I felt, but what can I expect? But I come to been disappointment with many comic book movies over the course of my life. So what can you expect about this? About disappointment? And this movie was also kind of a disappointment. Iron Man movie from 2008 starring Robert Downey as Iron Man, Tony Stark in the main role in his first solo outing on the big screen in live action. And I just didn't care for him. I found him boring. And like, is this never, does he feel awful like I don't know, lame in this movie, in the first Iron Man movie? Like, not the most not the most witty character. That's funny when he's compared to later installments. Once we get past the first one, that's just what I thought. And why I wasn't crazy about the first Iron Man movie. And loved the sequel, let down again by the final installment, the third installment to Iron Man. I found a letdown. Titled Iron Man 3. If you want to see my video on that, that's in another video. I give that a mediocre movie 8 out of 10. And you're going to see my video on this. That's in one of my older videos. Don't remember how far down the list is. I guess you can just Google the title. Jake reviews Iron Man 3. You know, I comes to my attention, you might get confused because I've reviewed that movie multiple times in the past. So, I'm just going to say my thoughts on Iron Man 3 is 8 out of 10. My thoughts on Iron Man 2 is a 10 out of 10. For my final thoughts on them, the sequel to Iron Man. So, the sequels to Iron Man are better than the first one, I thought. Even the third one. Because at least Tony wasn't boring in the third one. It had a sense of humor. And the third one was actually funny. Even though it was still mediocre. But I thought it was actually funny. It had some good drama into the movie that didn't feel forced, unlike the first one. The first one, the drama felt very forced often, too often. Like a CW show from DC is what the first Iron Man movie feels often like. Like, you know how DC CW shows have a certain feel to them? They often go to forced drama or forced humor, they mix drama and humor together. They go for a loss of forced drama too often. That's what the first Iron Man movie feels like. Now, the downside is that the characters is stale as balls. In the first installment, unlike the sequels, where the sequels he has plenty personality and likability. I thought he was actually interesting in the sequels. I thought he was boring in the first one, though. Tony Stark as Iron Man. The character himself. And it wasn't against the performances that they were fine with what they were given, with the what the movie let them at when they were fine with what they were given with in the story. I thought they were fine, and then the performance was surfable, but no standouts. I thought. That stuck with me. That's my problem. In the first Iron Man movie, that's my problem, okay? Well, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's mediocre at best. It's not one of Robert Downey's better movies, I think. Personally, I just think it's one of his weaker movies. And weaker performances. In 2020 Iron Man movie. The sequels, on the other hand, not so much. I thought the sequels were much better from Downey's performances and story-wise. For versus Tony Stark, where we compare where he started out with, how he started out so bad and so flat in the first one, how but how that kind of they fixed that in the sequels, and also in the spin-offs with Tony Stark. In the Avengers movies, and Captain America movie that he was once in. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Iron Man 1 from 2008. And I give that an 8 out of 10. It's mediocre at best. Goodbye. Subscribe by hitting the bell and hitting the subscribe button. In that order. To get subscribed, you have to both, okay? I don't know why this is programmed like that. And hit thumbs up if you like this content of my video. Goodbye. Check out my other videos.